Welcome to the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonis, and the founder of the Write Your Own Story company. Girl, I can tell you right now, you are definitely enough. Here we value service, sisterhood, connection, laughter, and that super genuine, keep it real, tell you like it is honesty. My hope is at the end of each episode, you realize you can do whatever it is you dream about and that you are not alone with what you struggle with. I'm hoping that you are snapping and clapping and hell yes in your way through each one of these episodes. So if this tracks with you, let's get started. I'm so glad you're here. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the latest episode of the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonis, and I'm so pleased to be here with Liz Hansen. Liz Hansen is the founder of Chicago Boudoir Photography, where she helps women reclaim confidence and celebrate their stories through empowering luxury photo experiences. A sought-after speaker and TEDx presenter, Liz is passionate about challenging beauty standards and showing women, especially those in midlife, that their bodies and their lives are worthy of celebration. I mean, what an incredible mission and passion to tie your body of work to, Liz. That is incredible.
Hey, well, thanks for having me, Betsy. Yeah, so I do something called boudoir. If you've never heard the word boudoir before, it's a fancy French word that means a woman's bedroom. What I do as a boudoir photographer is I've created a safe space for women to come and create sexy, sensual photos of themselves and thereby to feel more confident and empowered in their own skin.
I love it. And I love that, so when I set out to create this show, there were really four pillars of content. And one of my most passionate pillars is really pushing against societal shoulds and really writing your own rules. And I want to talk to you about the cultural script and sort of why we think, when I think about the intention of the show to ground us and to ground our readers, it's really around how do we challenge those beauty standards and reclaim visibility? Because I think, what you've shared in the work that I've read and watched of yours in my research was that it's the lights come back on in these women. They see themselves, even though they haven't changed a bit, in a lens and a light that they've never seen before and what it gets. So really reconnecting to that confidence. So I think this is going to be incredible. So let's talk about the cultural script. You've worked with hundreds of women. How do you see society shaping what women believe about beauty and aging and visibility? What is society telling the women that you work with?
I mean, everyone has their own story, but if you're like me, as a young girl and as a young woman, I really believed there was something wrong with my body. I wasn't thin enough. There were parts that were too fat. There were parts that were too flat. There were, I was too pale. I was too this, I was too tall, I was too my hair was too thin, it was too straight. It was just it's endless, right? There was just always something wrong with how I looked and my body, right? And maybe you didn't grow up thinking that, but maybe you did.
Oh, no,
right?
I most certainly did. One of my other ones was I was too strong.
Oh my goodness. Interesting, right? Too muscly, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what your body looked like. There was probably times when you thought there was something wrong with it, right?
Absolutely.
And it's because we have this long history of women's bodies being a battleground, right? Teaching women and girls that there's only one right way to be a quote unquote good girl, right? And you have to look a certain way and act a certain way, right? And I really bought into that. I wanted to be good. I wanted to be valuable. I wanted to be acceptable. And in order to be those things, I thought I had to look a certain way. And I knew I didn't look that way, right? And what boudoir says, at least what I'm trying to say in my studio, what I'm trying to do is to say, you are worthy and valuable no matter what.
Yeah.
You are a human. And that means that you deserve to have your story documented. And you don't have to change to be photographed. You don't have to look different. You don't have to feel different. You can be photographed right here, right now. And doing so is a powerful way of showing up and saying, I matter. I'm here. I don't need to shrink. My body, my sexuality, my sensuality, my femininity is not something that's bad or terrible or shameful or dirty. It needs to be hidden. It's something that can be celebrated.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's so interesting that you talked about worth. It is wild how society has taught us that unless you fit a very arbitrary, societal driven shape, you are not worthy of feeling confident, love, attention, anything like that. And so we're chasing being something that's like a tiger chasing to be an elephant. It's like this is not how you are made. You are made perfect and beautiful and whole just as you are. Now I understand, as we ebb and flow, and gosh, after kids, you're like, I want to get back to what felt like the true me, but not the like societal, whatever it may be. So I think, in our 20s, we're getting these messages of like, unless you fit this mold, gosh, not even our 20s. I remember the first time I had an issue with my body was in 5th grade. I was really tall and I was really strong. And I was such a tomboy. I was rocking the bowl cut with wild abandon. And I still had issue with my body. So I don't know. Anyway, long story long.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember being 6, 7 years old. I loved to dance. And I remember taking dance classes and looking at myself in the mirror and being like, I'm too fat to be a dancer. I'm like 5 years old,
Yeah.
But I loved to dance.
Yeah.
But I didn't like looking in those mirrors and thinking that I was too fat to be there,
And doesn't it just suck? Like, I don't know what else to say, but it fucking sucks that like what makes an incredible dancer and what makes an incredible athlete is like embodying what they are doing and connecting to the joy that they get from dancing or from playing a sport and feeling so in their body. And then we have to look in the mirror or look at the tape or look at the playback and be like, I hate my body. And we're missing the whole experience.
Yeah. And it's not just about saying you have to look a certain way. I think a lot of times women are expected to act a certain way.
Oh, too, great point.
There are certain, depending on, your cultural and sort of your conditioning, like I was really conditioned to believe that my entire worth rested on getting married and having kids.
Yep.
And that was like the most, and listen, I'm married, I have kids, I'm glad, I love my children, love my husband, but I was sort of conditioned to believe that that was like my whole worth was wrapped up in that, the roles of wife and mother. And when I stepped out and said, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to do some other things, my family was not super happy with that, right? Like there was some pushback, right? And so it's not just about fitting into a looks mold. It can be also about fitting into a behavior mold. Maybe you're the first person in your family to go to college. Maybe you're the first person in your family to start a business or to do any number of things that just feels like you've been stepping out of line. And I think that's what, women have often been told they can't step out of line, right? Like They've been burned at the stake for being witches because
literally,
right? And so we still fight that script that there's only one right way to be a good girl, to be a good woman. There's only one way to look to be acceptable or worthy. And like what I hope that this next generation of my daughters can learn to believe is that there's a lot of different paths that are acceptable and good, and finding your own is like one of the beautiful things in life, is finding your own path.
Absolutely. And I thank you so much for sharing that like, hey, this is not within my family sort of makeup. And I've stepped outside and they weren't super supportive, like taking us on a tangent here, because I love a good tangent, but like, how did you navigate that? Like, what work did you have to do on the inside? Because I feel like right now, everybody listening is like, oh my God, I have my version of that. My family said I have to be a people pleaser and never, shake the tree. But here I am. I have a voice. Like, what would you say?
Yeah, it might show up for you in different ways, right? Like maybe your family really wanted you to be a doctor and you decided to be an artist, or like, I don't know what it is for you, but like, I think a lot of times just when you try to be you, when you try to write your own story, you're going to find people who don't agree with you. It might be your family, it might be someone else, it might be a romantic partner. My family, when I told them I was doing Boudoir, they were like, my parents literally told me I was going to hell for doing this. They're conservative.
Oh my God.
They still understand, right? Yeah. And they still don't support, but that's fine. It's not like my parents were ever going to be my clients. They were never going to come in for a photo shoot, right? I think my parents think I'm sort of naughty, like I'm not a good girl, right? And that can, I've been doing this for like a decade now. At first I was like, oh no, my parents don't support me. Totally. I've kind of come to a place where I'm like, yeah, my parents don't support. What are we going to do here? I think you're never going to please everybody. You're going to get pushback no matter what you do. So do what you feel called to do anyway, because you're going to have judgment. If you do it, you're going to have judgment if you don't.
Yep. Damn straight. I love that so much. It's like, and I read something recently, like only you have the view, only you have your view. And it's like, you're building this life and only you live it. Your parents don't live it. And that's kind of when we were talking about the next generation. That's what I hope for my kids so much, is that they feel like they built their life on their design. I hope that we've passed down important family values, but that they've created their own values as well, and that their life is a reflection of that. I love that. And I appreciate you saying that, like, you've been at this for a decade or almost a decade. And so you're like, it's taken a minute, but at the end of the day, you were brave enough to sit in it and be like, no, this is my life. This is what I love to do.
And that can be really hard. I think it
Yeah.
sometimes takes people a lifetime to say, no, this is who I really am and what I'm really going to do, even if people disagree. It can be very, I think there's like some like really deep need to not be rejected by your tribe, right? Like,
Yes.
going back like hundreds of years, whatever, like you would die if you were rejected from the tribal circle, right? Like, I mean, I'm not, right? And so there's this like, it's very scary to step outside, color outside the lines, to say, no, I'm going to do something differently. I find like a lot of like inspiration in people. I mean, think about like hundreds of years, people who got on a ship and traveled across the world to discover new places or do new things. And, think about people who, Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea, they're walking into the wilderness, right? Like, people have been doing this for hundreds of years. You just have to find your own version of that and the courage to do that. And if your family doesn't support you, I hope you find people who do. Maybe it's an online community, maybe it's a coach, someone who can support you, because it's really hard to do these things just totally on your own.
That's incredible advice. And I think, just having that broader picture hopefully lets everyone take that like air out of the balloon that I always talk about, where you're like, okay, my shoulders can relax a little bit more. She gets me. I can find my tribe. You're right. It does feel awful to go against the grain, but like, also once you get the hang of it, you're kind of like, actually, I sort of love this. Okay, so then let's talk about, so like, we talked about messaging in your 20s and your early, and then in your 30s, you're kind of becoming mother, if that is your path, whatever. I'm 43, what I'm noticing when it comes to women's sensuality, especially after kids, is like our clothes get longer and longer and higher and like, and when I go to try and find something to wear now, I'm like, I can either dress like my 12-year-old or my 14-year-old's friends, or I can dress in these like beautiful prints. Don't get me wrong, these women look gorgeous, but like I'm talking like turtleneck dresses and these beautiful sleeves, and like it's probably like down to the floor. I'm thinking like, even this is where like Anthropologie is at right now. And I'm like, and they look beautiful, right? But I'm like, wait, where are you in there? So
it isn't, hemlines go up and down,
yeah.
and what's in style goes up and down. And I saw a thing recently about Princess Kate, how she used to wear knee-length skirts and now she's always wearing ankle-length skirts. And like, is that a choice or is that an age thing? Right. Listen, I'm 44. I'm just your age. I'm hitting the perimenopause. I've just started some of that HRT stuff that we're all talking about. Right. And I think one of the things as women is to try to embrace each season of your life for what it is. Right. Have you ever heard of like the maiden, mother, crone?
No, tell me.
Okay, I mean, when you start, you're a young maiden, and then there's that like archetype of the young, beautiful, virginal maiden, and then the mother, and then the crone is the like wise, barren, menopausal woman, right? But like what the point of thinking about this is that you are worthy and valuable at each stage of your life. So like, just because you're older doesn't mean you're less, right?
Yeah.
Just because you've aged, just because maybe you feel more comfortable in a longer skirt, in a midi skirt instead of a mini skirt, that doesn't mean you still aren't sensual, sexual, feminine, all those things, right? So
totally
that's what I'm trying to say with Boudoir, is that like each chapter is worth celebrating and documenting. So
I love
maybe
that.
you did Boudoir when you were 20, maybe do it at 30, do it again when you're 40, do it when you're 45, do it when you're 50. I'm planning to do it every year of my life, right? I can't wait to be 80 years old. I'm still going to do it. Like, that's what I'm doing, right? Because it's not about saying, oh, I still look young. It's about saying like, yeah, I'm 44 now and I'm happy about that. I don't want to go back to being 24. I've learned so much. I've lived so much. Here's this body now, the journey I'm on now, right? Like, so that's my whole point.
I absolutely love that. And one of the other things that really stuck out for me when you were talking about hemlines and up and down in this is like the connecting to your confidence, because nothing looks more beautiful and you never feel more sensual than when you're in your confidence. So, whatever you want to wear it proudly, wear it boldly, and I think whatever connects you to that feeling that we all know, rock it.
Yeah. And maybe I'm not suggesting that you walk around naked outside. Like, let's be real here. Consent is always important. But what I'm saying at the Boudoir studio is like your nude body is something that is a work of art and it's worth documenting, right? Like don't go to work nude. That's not what I'm saying. But like, can you come into the studio and be nude with me and feel like a reverence, almost like we are going to celebrate this body here today. That's our only purpose here, is to celebrate you and your body. What would that feel like? Can you imagine stepping into that? Can you imagine signing up for that? What would it feel like to say, I'm going to spend one day, I'm going to celebrate me. I'm not going to shame my body. I'm not going to hate it. I'm not going to wish it were different. I'm going to celebrate every curve, every inch, just as it is.
I am at a loss for words because I can't imagine what that feels like. I mean,
have you ever done a boudoir photo shoot?
No, I've never done one. I should though.
I totally would. To get you signed up. Yeah,
I totally would. But like, just, I would never, I really do love my body. I love the scars. But if I'm completely honest, I also don't think that I've ever not had a moment where there isn't something that I want to fix, or there's something that I wish was a little different, despite the fact that, yes, I absolutely love my body. And that's on me, right? Like, I mean, that's not like, it sounds like these boudoir shoots, you just get to this point of like radical love and acceptance, and you just like let go finally. So I think a lot of people listening are like, I honestly don't know what that feels like. And it sounds incredible.
Yeah, listen, you don't have to love every single inch of your body and not see things that you would like to change in order to say, I still love it. I still want to celebrate it, right? Like, yeah, you're on a weight loss journey, you're on a fitness journey. Keep at it. That's great. And you're also worthy of being documented right now.
Yeah.
The journey is part of it, right? So like, and my job as a photographer is to bring out, like, to emphasize and to show like how beautiful that curve can be. Yeah, right. And I'm totally. to make art out of your body, right? Like, so like, that's my job. You show up, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change. You don't have to be different. You don't have to do anything. Just show up. And then my job is to draw out that beauty in you. And that's what I've spent, years honing that craft and the lighting and the posing and the draping and everything to create a work of art out of what is already you. Right.
I love the idea of seeing your own body as a work of art. I always say to my daughter, even to my boys and to my friends, I'm like, if you could only see what I see in you, and like, what an incredible opportunity to be able to be behind the lens and then be able to turn around and be like, this is what I see. Can you finally see it now? And to have these like big transformational moments makes me emotional just thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. When was the last time you really looked at your back?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even look at the back of my hair.
Right?
I'm like, I think it's good. Let's go.
Let's go. Right. But like, I love to take pictures of women's backs. I love the curve of the back. I love the strength of the back. Right. Like, I love to do a nude back, maybe with just a pearl necklace hanging down the back. Right. Like I loved, people say, I've never seen that before. Well, of course not, because it's your back. Like, it's really hard to see, right? So that's what a photographer can do for you, is show you parts of yourself in ways that you've literally never seen before. And that's like the whole beauty of it, in my opinion. Yes, you can look at yourself in a mirror and appreciate yourself, and I encourage you to do that. But what can a photographer capture that you literally cannot see yourself?
It's incredible. I literally was at the gym today working on my back. I'm like, don't know what it looks like. Haven't seen it. But I believe it is strong.
Totally. Right. Yeah. And what would it mean to have like a really cool black and white, like,
totally,
of your back?
I can absolutely visualize it with the pearl necklace and everything. It seems so elevated and so celebrated. It sounds incredible. Absolutely. I have to tell you, I'm literally obsessed with my Oura Ring 4. Honestly, my Apple Watch was way too much noise for me. Stand up, sit down, you have a meeting, you're late, your steps are low, breathe, all the things. But this little ring has been an absolute game changer. It doesn't just track my sleep, it helps me actually rest better. Every morning, I get insights into my recovery, my readiness for the day, and whether my body needs more downtime. It even tracks my steps, my cycle, and literally so much more. If you're someone who loves data, cares about your health, and also loves cute jewelry, this ring is for you. This is a gentle reminder, backed by science, that rest is just as important as hustle. Unlock this powerful tool for better sleep, less stress, and smarter recovery with Oura Ring 4. Use my link in the show notes to get 10% off your Oura Ring today. Okay, I love this notion of like, it almost feels like it's your own personal journey of stepping into your own visibility. And I think we had touched on this a little bit earlier, but as we get into like the baby raising age and the carpool driving age, and then we're trying to, like we're thinking about launching these beautiful babes that we've, built this life around. We so kind of like step into the background of this life, this incredible life that we've built. And we feel like a supporting character in so much, especially when it comes to connecting to our beauty. What to you does it mean to reclaim visibility? Because I think that that is something, if I were to wish for women who are my age or any age where they feel like they don't focus on being seen and feeling seen and showing up to be seen. What are your thoughts on reclaiming visibility for women?
Yeah, well, a lot of women don't want to be seen. I mean, that's
true.
one thing to remember too. So yes, as women, so often we are socialized to believe that our worth comes when we give to others, right? We are valuable when we are selfless. We are valuable when we give to our spouse, to our job, to our kids. In fact, there's this idea that we give so much of ourselves to our children that we like disappear into our children's lives, right? And we're just the mom behind these children, right? And listen, I have kids. I love my kids. I'm happy to give to them. I want to give to them. And yet I am a person too. Yeah. And I have dreams and desires and things that I want to accomplish, right? That are not connected to my children. Like I am independent of them also, right?
Absolutely.
And so when we can step away from the idea that our worth is only comes from our relationship to others. I'm only worthy when I give to my children. I'm only worthy because I am married and give to my husband. I'm only worthy because I have this job and I give to my employer, right? Like, what is it that you do that is independent of your relationship to anyone else or any other thing? And I think that's what a lot of women struggle to find, right? Like a lot of women, their kids grow up and leave the nest and they're like, completely at loose ends because they have devoted everything they have to those kids. And I mean, kids take a lot, don't get me wrong, but like, what is it that is you? What is it that's the core of what you love and what you want to give to the world, right? Now that the kids don't need you every second of every day. It can happen when your kids go to kindergarten. It can happen when you get divorced and you no longer have a marriage. It can happen when the kids grow up and leave home, go off to college or get married themselves or whatever, right? At each of these junctures, what I hope women can say is, where do I get my own sense of self and my own value? Where do I derive that from? Yeah. In what ways do I want to show up and be seen? In what ways do I want to contribute to the world? Where do my, talents lie that I can give to others in ways that are meaningful to me and my community, right? And some women, they never show up and kind of face those tough questions, right? Yes. They say, well, I'm a mom. That's it. Yeah. Well, I'm a doctor. That's all I do. I'm defined by my profession. And there's nothing wrong with having a profession you love. There's nothing wrong with having kids. But there's also this core of you as woman, as person. What does that mean to you? What do you care about? Why are you here on this earth? There's that poem, what are you going to do with your one wild life? I'm not quoting quite like that. That's a big question. What is it? You have time here on this earth and it's limited. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do with that precious time, with this body that you have that's giving you life? How are you going to use that body?
And like, I think about how it's so easy to fall into, when we talk about how do you want to show up in this earth, like you want to serve, you want to love, you want to add value, you want to receive love. So much of that happens in your family. And so much of that happens at work. If you are a doctor, you are saving lives or limbs or organs or I don't know, things like that. And so there is so much value and so much purpose connected to that. But I love that it's such a tough question to ask, especially at this age, to be like, who am I? If I had to define myself, like we're not defined by the things that we do. but what are we defined by? But I love when I think about Boudoir, like you were literally stripped down to just you. And then how do
Exactly.
you show up?
Exactly. Yeah, I love to think about like when we hold a newborn baby, like I
Hmm.
can't, if you can remember the last time you held a newborn, it's been a long time for me, but
I
we
still
hold,
remember though.
yeah, or someone else's baby, you hold that baby and
Hmm.
you know how inherently valuable that baby is. That baby has achieved, has not gotten a job, has not graduated from school, has not gotten married, has never lost weight. It hasn't done anything. And yet we know how inherently valuable that baby is just for existing. And you are still just as valuable as you were the day you're born. There's nothing you can do or not do that diminishes that value, right? So once you recognize your inherent value and worth, that I think is when you can stand up and say, I am worthy, I'm valuable just because I exist. Then from there, you can love others, you can serve others, you can find your purpose, you can do things. But until you believe that and know that about yourself, it's hard to give love or service to anyone else in a really meaningful way.
Oh, God, that has me shook to the core because, like, I mean, you're so right. That baby has literally done nothing except shown up, which is incredible. But it's like, I mean, never have I ever wanted to protect anything more. Never have I loved anything more. And then, of course, more babies come and somehow your heart expands and divides. And you're like, I didn't know how that was possible. And so now as adults, we are still worthy of that unconditional, deep love, of that safety and protection, of being valued and cherished. Like that all still exists right from the jump. And it's almost like some of these things that we attach our worth to along the way, the excuse me, the pounds lost, the grades in school, the sports team accolades, whatever, that actually like strips away your own sense of worth because you're like, now all of a sudden it's tied to a condition.
Yeah. And we spend a lot of time like doing that, right? Like giving ourselves little
Mhm.
awards and little trophies for things we've done.
Yeah.
And we think that that's what gives us our worth and our value, right?
Mm.
But the problem is you can always lose that, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's say you attach your worth to being, a certain size. Well, that can go away. Say you attach
Mhm.
your worth to having a job. Well, you could lose your job or you could retire. Let's say you
Mhm.
attach your worth to being a wife and being married. Well, you could get divorced. Your husband. I mean, like, we don't want all
Yes,
these terrible things to happen, but like, that's
they do.
not what defines you.
Right. And
You,
that is a while. I had to untangle that immensely when I got divorced. I had no idea how much I had my value and my worth and my identity tied to being a married woman and
yeah.
how much, I poured into it. Of course, I wanted to. But then when I didn't have it anymore, I was like, well, wait, now I don't fit in. Like it was just unbelievable. But I appreciate you saying that. But it's true, these things can come and go. But if you tie your worth and your fit to community and your connection, all of a sudden you have it tied to something that can be taken away from you.
Yeah, and I love it when women come in to do a boudoir photo shoot after a divorce. To me,
Hmm.
that's a really powerful statement of like reclaiming who you are and your identity. You don't have to do these pictures for anyone else, but just
Yeah.
for you, right? I have
I
women
think
who
that's
come into the studio for, sometimes for happy reasons, right? Like they're getting married, they're having a baby, they're celebrating their 40th birthday, right? But like also, boudoir can be really important and cathartic and meaningful in the tough moments in life. Like after divorce, maybe you've escaped an abusive relationship. Maybe you've had a loss, someone's died in your life and you want to feel alive. Maybe you've
alive
had a
again.
breast cancer diagnosis. Maybe, you've had surgery of some kind, right? And you just want to be grateful for being alive. Like a boudoir photo shoot can be one way to just celebrate being alive.
God, that's incredible. You must hear so many different stories. What is the conversation like in the studio when I can imagine someone takes all their clothes off and no matter they signed up for it, they're ready for it. And all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, I'm so naked. Like,
You know
it's
what? By
so,
the time we get to that point, it just feels like really normal act. People tell me all the time, they're like, it feels so normal when you're there. And then you leave and you're like, I just did that, Because here's how it works. You come to the studio, you get your hair and makeup done, like have a beauty team.
so
And
fun.
yeah. And so then you're getting warmed up. And then we talk about wardrobe and you can decide if you want to wear some of the things I have or if you want to just
Mhm.
go full nude. So by the time we get into the studio, you've already been there for a while, right?
Yeah.
We're having, it's like a girls weekend basically, right? And so it just doesn't feel that weird by the time we get to taking the nude photos. I'm not weird about bodies at all anymore. I mean, I have seen everything under this. I like to say I'm basically like a doctor now. I didn't go to med school, but I've seen so many naked bodies. Like everyone's got one. Everyone's got nipples, right? Everyone's got butt cheeks. Like it's just not a shock to me anymore. And I just hope that women come just I always want people to kind of, what I say, like melt into the experience, just like allow it to happen. Just don't resist, just because if you do, like, I'll hold your hand, I'll take care of you from start to finish.
Yeah. Oh, I have no doubt. I'm sure you were there every step of the way. You're like, girl, I got you. Do this lighting, do this pose, put this accessory here, look there. And then how do you hope or help women take that confidence back into their real life, right? Like they walk out the door and I'm sure the blinding light would be like, oh no, back to reality. I got to go. And like, but how do you take that with you? Because I want women to walk around in their femininity like that and to feel so beautiful and to like, show up, shoulders back. How do you encourage women to take that outside of the studio?
I mean, this is what I want for women also, right? Like, I truly believe that empowered women are going to change the world. Like when women know their own worth and their own beauty and their own value, that's when they're going to go into the world and give that love. And like world peace starts with empowered women. Like I'm convinced, right? Like this is what we need.
Same.
We need the power of women who know and have the courage to stand up and bring love into this world. The cool thing about Boudoir for me is that like, there's like 3 parts of it. There's the like getting ready, right? You sign up, you kind of get excited, and there's sort of that anticipation.
Yeah.
Then that can be really fun, right? You can like shop for some lingerie. You can think about what you want. You can get some inspiration pictures like that. Getting ready for it is fun. Then there's the day at the studio, which is really fun. You're there with me. We're taking the pictures. And then there's the after party when you get to have the pictures and look at them for years to come, right? So it's sort of like a gift that keeps giving. It's sort of, for me, it's not just that moment of taking the pictures, but kind of the whole process can be transformative for people.
Do you feel like when people leave the studio, they walk out with a level of confidence that they never had before? Or when they get their photos back, that's just like, I feel like hopefully it helps women see themselves in such a different light.
Well, I know that was my experience. The whole reason I got started in this is like I was a wedding and family photographer. Yeah. And about 10 years ago, some of my photography friends were talking about this boudoir thing. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this isn't, people really do this. And I got so, intrigued. I signed up for a photo shoot for myself. So I went in to do nude photos myself. And I was so nervous. I mean, this was way outside of my comfort zone. I didn't want anyone to know that I'd done it. Like, I mean, I was just like, like I was very inhibited. I'd never done anything like this before. I'd really spent my life trying to be a good girl and stay in the lane. And this was like kind of like the first time I stepped out and did something that I was like, this is real naughty, Mm-hmm. And I am not exaggerating when I say that, like, the experience, it was transformative for me. Like, I walked out of that studio ready to show up in bigger and better ways in my life. Like, I was like, I did the thing. I can do other hard things now. Like, maybe for some people it's running a marathon or hiking a mountain. For me, it was the boudoir photo shoot that like cracked something open in me that I wanted to do more. I wanted to be more expansive. So I wanted to do bigger things. And it led to me opening up my business and offering this experience to other women. So that's what my hope is that you will walk out of the studio like ready to take on something bigger. Maybe it's you'll heal. Maybe you'll make that phone call. Maybe you'll take that job. Maybe you'll do that thing that you've been thinking, I hope that it's like a catalyst for something bigger in your life.
I think that sounds absolutely incredible. And to do it in like a girls' weekend kind of vibe and get your hair and your makeup done and then you have something to look at. How has boudoir photo shoots affected people's relationships? I think a lot of people are like, do I do this for my husband? Would he be like, oh my God, what are these? Like, tell me some of those fun stories.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've never had an unhappy partner with a boudoir photo album as a gift. Yeah. Never.
Right?
Fact, no one's ever mad. Are you kidding me? Some people do it for a gift, right? And they give the album, and sometimes they call me later and they're like, oh gosh, it went over so well. Here's a picture of him opening the album, this and that,
Awesome.
But you don't have to do a boudoir photo shoot for someone else.
Totally.
This can be just for you as well.
Without a doubt. Absolutely. And I think even if the gift is to like give to your partner, which is incredible and so fun and all that great stuff, like the experience will always be just for you. because it sounds like
Exactly.
it's absolutely eye-opening.
Exactly.
What are some of your like favorite testimonials that you've had?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you kind of a hard story,
Okay.
tougher story. Sarah is just like, it's just one of these photo shoots I will never forget. Sarah was like 40 years old, had young kids, and she had a sudden massive heart attack in the middle of the night.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they got her in an ambulance. And while she was in the ambulance, she died, literally medically died. And they had to bring her back to life with CPR.
Oh my gosh.
And she was in the hospital. Next few months, had several surgeries. She ended up with scars like up and down her torso. And on the 1 year anniversary of her heart attack, she wanted to be with me in the studio because she wanted to do something on the 1 year anniversary of her heart attack to remind herself that she was alive, right?
Yeah.
And she wanted to take nude photos that showed her scars. She didn't want to Photoshop them out. She didn't want to hide them. She wanted to take artistic pictures that showed her scars. And the thing for me is like, you don't have to have a sudden massive heart attack where you die in an ambulance in order to get to that place where you say, I'm alive and I'm happy to be alive. And I have some scars to show my journey. And I want to celebrate every piece of it. Right. Have you ever heard of, there's this Japanese concept called kintsugi where they take broken pottery and they put it back together, and on the
With the
seams,
gold.
the gold.
Yes.
This is what I want for you. I want for the hard things, the things that you've lived through, the scars, to be like little pieces of gold in your story.
Yeah, God. And then to be able to like memorialize that in this like beautiful artistic way sounds absolutely incredible. Societally, that's not a word. Societal wide, like I still not a word, but you get it. Is there sort of like pushback? Is there, I mean, I know you kind of felt it from your family, but like, is it hard to convince people to do boudoir? Like, I'm just curious about like where this sits in sort of the societal norms. Not that it
Yeah.
matters, but just to like say
No,
it
it
out loud.
does matter. It does matter because the fact that the fact that you are going to think about doing a boudoir to me is sort of a kick in the face to some of our societal standards. It says that like women should do this. Only like bad women do stuff like this, right? So, listen, I'm not here to convince anyone to do boudoir who doesn't want to do boudoir. Like that would be weird. But what I am here to say is like, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about this, if you're curious about boudoir, but you don't know how to take the next step, or if you'll be safe, or if you'll be cared for, or if this is right for you, or if this is the right moment for you, then I'm here to explain what we do, how we do it, right? There are some people who will never do boudoir. My mother. It's fine, whatever. I'm not here to convince anyone that this is valuable, but if you see it, if you hear about it and it does seem valuable to you, it does seem like something that might work for you, that you might help you, that you might just enjoy, that sounds fun, that's on your bucket list, then I want to talk to you. I want to tell you how we have a commercial studio. You're not going to end up in someone's basement, right? How I've been doing this for a long time and I've photographed women of all ages and sizes and shapes and colors. I want to tell you how I'm going to do a same day photo reveal for you. So you're going to come in, get your hair and makeup, do the photo shoot, and then we're going to have a reveal right then and there. Not just because the instant gratification is fun, but that is fun. But
Yeah,
also,
that's what I was like, ooh.
yeah, right. But I also want you to see yourself without Photoshop, without a filter. I want you to see yourself as beautiful and glorious. Now, listen, I'll do some Photoshop if you want some Photoshop, no problem. But I want you to see and appreciate yourself right then and there. No waiting. And together we can appreciate the art that we've created together, right? I want to talk to you about our 100% female staff, about our privacy guarantee, about our happiness guarantee. If you come to my studio and I take pictures and you're not just absolutely blown away by the pictures, I'll refund you your session fee. That's my guarantee to you, so that you feel confident coming in and trusting me with this very intimate experience.
That's so incredible. And to hear and to feel your level of energy when you talk about how passionate you are about creating this safe space and this incredible experience. And what I'm also totally obsessed with is like feeling alive again and finding the confidence that then helps you go out there and do the brave thing or the hard thing or the thing that you didn't even know that you needed to face. And now you see it. Like that is absolutely transformational, well beyond the beautiful art that you've just created. Like the ripple effect, it sounds like, from an experience like this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Like, what would you do if you knew you were beautiful and powerful? What steps would you take if you knew you were worthy and you didn't have to wait? Right? Like, that's what I want to open up in you.
If you're building your dream business and you know you need to build an email list, but the idea of picking and using an email platform totally overwhelms you, trust me, I get it. But I've got you, girl. Flowdesk is where it's at. Flowdesk is the email marketing platform designed with female entrepreneurs in mind. Think gorgeous, on-brand templates plus powerful workflows that save you hours. I promise you, I've never used an easier email platform with such stunning results. Whether you're sending an email launching a new offer or podcast episode, sharing new news, or trying out a fancy workflow to convert a new email subscriber into a paying customer, Flowdesk helps you show up professionally with ease without spending a ton of time or money. And not to mention, these emails are gorgeous. And because you're a Write Your Own Story podcast listener, you get an exclusive 50% off your first year of Flowdesk. Plus, they'll send you $19 cash back when you join using the link in the show notes. So if you're ready to send stunning emails that convert and actually enjoy the process, click the link in the show notes and give Flowdesk a try. That's 50% off your first year plus $19 back in your pocket. Check out Flowdesk today. It's like your super talented email writing best friend. I promise you won't regret it. Now, back to the episode.
Gosh, I hope everyone just literally took out their journal and wrote that at the top of each page and then did some journaling on that, because those are incredible questions to ask. And like, so what do you, if for those who are sitting at home who are like, wait, I want to connect to this feeling of beautiful and powerful, just I like that. I need that now. Yes, I want to do boudoir, or no, I don't, but I do want to feel beautiful and powerful. What are like those mantras, or like, what have you learned along your journey to help women just in the moment feel more beautiful and powerful and confident?
My first suggestion is always this. If you are in a state of body negativity, like I hate my body, try to move from body negativity to body neutrality. Okay. You do not need to get to body positivity. You do not need to be like, I love my body, because that's a lie, right? You can't believe it, right? But can you change from I hate my body to I have a body? So it's a very neutral statement. Change one letter from I hate to I have. I have a body. What can you do with I have a body? Everything. I have legs. My legs can walk. I have arms. My arms can give hugs. I have a belly. My belly can laugh, right? Yeah. Getting to a place where you appreciate your body already for what you have and what it can do. This is where you can start really working from, right? Because when you're in a space of I hate my body, I hate myself, this kind of energy will drag you down. You're not getting anywhere with that. If you can move even the needle just to neutrality, I have a body. I can appreciate that I am alive. This is a place of power. You can start there. You don't have to jump all the way to, I love everything about my body and I wouldn't change anything and I love everything about my life, right? No, we do not have to get that far. Bring the needle from here just to the neutral.
Yeah. I love that. And like, I believe it was a Gandhi quote that I'm going to absolutely butcher, but it was like something around the effect of like, I'm using my time praying for shoes and not even realizing that the gift of having feet, or something. I absolutely butchered that. But that is the thing, is like, you have a body, you have an able body. If you've ever known anyone to be sick or, to be when their health is compromised, like what a gift it is to have a body. And I love that arms are for hugging and legs are for walking and bellies are for laughing, mouths are for smiling. Like we forget the simple pleasures that are connected to the body within us. That's really, really beautiful. That makes me so happy. Now I want to go hug everybody. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I would say, going back to your journey as a business owner and kind of tying it to the work that you do, what have you learned about self-expression and the courage of self-expression as you show up in the world?
So I was really scared to start my own business. I'd never done something like this before. I'd been a stay-at-home mom with a photo business on the side, like doing weekends, weddings and stuff. But I didn't have a lot of role models, right? Like I didn't know, like now I know a lot of women running businesses and I've connected to a lot of cool boss babes and everything. But at the time, I didn't really have anyone that I could model what I was doing after. And it can be hard to be what you can't see, right? So this was like a big step into the unknown for me. I had to take out a business loan. I made a lot of mistakes at the beginning. I lost a lot of money at the beginning. But I was driven forward to keep moving because I knew that this was something I really wanted. Like, I knew that I didn't want to be 80 years old and sitting in a nursing home and thinking, well, I just never tried that thing that I really wanted to try because I thought I might fail. I knew that I would rather be sitting in the nursing home being like, yeah, I tried that thing and I failed, but at least I tried. Like, that's kind of what kept me going.
Yeah.
Knowing that like success wasn't necessarily making a lot of money, which I eventually did become a profitable business, but the success for me would be at least venturing, at least trying, at least starting. Like, that was the step I knew I needed to take, was to start the business. Right.
Yes.
And so that's really, I mean, there were a lot of hard times. Listen, my business got shut down during COVID. A pipe burst one time above my studio and it flooded and I lost everything inside, all the lights, all the furniture, all the electronics, right? I had a competitor one time who told all of her followers to go write a bad review. I got like 200 negative reviews on Google and Yelp and Facebook, like in one weekend, right? Like,
oh my God.
I know, like there've been hard things about running a business. It's sort of like having a baby. You know it's going to be hard, but you kind of don't know in what ways or how it's going to be hard or what kind of baby you're going to get, right? Starting a business is like that. Like, you know, it's going to be quote unquote, it's going to be hard. It's going to be quote unquote hard, but you don't know what kind of hard is coming your way. But you just, each day you try to help that baby grow up and be a successful person. And you, every day you show up and try to help that business grow up and be a successful business. And like, even though it's been hard and there's been challenges, like it's like, that's the kind of heart I want. Like, I want this adventure. I want to raise this child. I want to raise this business, you know?
Yeah. God, I'm obsessed with so many things. Failure is absolutely part of every single business. And like, that is like, I always feel like owning your own business is like a personal life assignment. You have to uncover so many blocks, and learning to love failure and to fully embrace failure was a huge one for me, where I'm like, wait, I just learned the most I just got a lesson that probably would have taken me years if I hadn't failed and failed fast and pivoted. And I love that you say, like, I wasn't profitable to start. No one is profitable to start. And everyone makes it seem like you're like, I got a studio and then it just looked so beautiful. That didn't cost me time, energy, heartache, panic attack, you know, like, and sunk costs and all these things. And so I think that it's so important for women business owners and all business owners out there to know that like your business will ebb and flow, but it is about the ride. It is about putting your head on the pillow at night and being like, I tried, I loved trying. I think that is like, if you can unlock that in your business, it unlocks so much for you in your life. So I love that you shared that. Thank you for sharing that. I feel like so many women business owners are like snapping in their car, unloading their dishes or whatever they're doing, being like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to sign up for a personal development course that is going to push you to the max, start a business.
Yes.
Totally. I mean, you learn more about the world, about yourself, about other people than you ever thought possible. I mean, to me, it's more valuable than getting a degree. It's more valuable than so many other things you could do. I just think it's one of those, it just doesn't compare really to like anything else I've done.
Yeah. Oh my God, 100%. And I think also, and this brings me to my last question, which hopefully ties like a nice bow into what we've talked about. But when you have to show up for your business, you have to show up loud and proud. You can't just quietly be like, I started a business. You need clients, you need income, you need community, and then I think about, you know, doing something bold and brave like Boudoir, like you have to show up, and you almost like, this is where women are like, what if I'm too much? Mm-hmm. What do you say to the woman so many women out there who are deathly afraid of the judgment of being too much?
Do men wake up in the morning and worry that they are too much? No, they do not.
They show up. They're like, I am so much.
And it's amazing, right? Like, this is a stereotypical female problem that you think you're too much. I used to be really scared to go on the internet, and then I realized like, well, no one's listening anyway. So just say your thing, right? And the people who you're going to attract some people and you're going to repel other people. And that is what you have to get really comfortable with. There are people who see what I do in my business and they're like, that is not for me. I mean, they even tell me that sometimes. I get emails sometimes like, what are you doing? You know, this is terrible. You're going to hell, whatever. And you just have to get very confident in the idea that you are not for everyone. And that is okay. Well, there's that little cliche, like, don't be a cup of tea when someone's looking for coffee, or like, you have to be yourself so that people who are looking for you can find you. That's basically, I'm not the metaphor. I've mixed the metaphors, but
I tracked the whole way, for the record.
Yeah. So like if people are looking for an empowering boudoir photo shoot, I want to be there so they can find me. If they're looking for something else, then they see me and they're repelled. Like, that's okay. I wasn't for them. I'm not creating this business for them. That's okay. And I've applied this to other things too. If I see a show or hear music or see a business that I don't like, what I say, that wasn't made for me. And that's okay. It was made for someone else. There's a lot of people on this planet. We got 9 billion people on this planet. It's okay if it's not for you. It's okay if my business is not for everyone. I cannot take pictures of 9 billion people. Like, this is okay. The people who love what I do will find me, and we will be attracted to me, and I will serve them, and I will create the most amazing product I can for them. The people who don't like what I do, please, it's okay if you get repelled, because I don't have time for you.
And I'm thinking, if you are nervous about being too much in any shape and size in the world, go do a boudoir photo shoot. It's going to require all of us to show up.
Yeah, be too much. I bring your too much to my studio. That's what I love.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so incredible. Oh my God. Thank you so much for today. And truly, thank you for the work that you do and for taking it, even out of the studio and being so passionate about having a voice that goes with your business. I mean, you could just create this incredible, beautiful art and have wonderful clients and a profitable business, even though pipes burst and COVID happens and all the things but you have gone even beyond that to extend your voice out to tell women, show up, find your confidence, be alive. That is why, that's how your work connects to your passion. And I think a lot of people right now are just like, I can feel this way, whether it be through boudoir or whether they realize that that's a gap in their life that they now know that they want to close. Your messaging is so important. So thank you for putting everything out there.
I'm grateful for the women who showed me the way, who said, this is okay. You can do this. You're not too much. Maybe you are too much, but that's great. Bring it. Right?
Bring it.
I want to be that. I wish I'd had more people tell me that when I was younger. And so I want women to claim their power that is rightfully theirs and show up, change the world.
Did you hear that, ladies? Claim your power, show up and change the world. Oh, I'm obsessed. We have to end on that one. It was incredible. Oh my gosh. This has been just the absolute most fun. How can we connect with your work if people are like, I'm ready?
Okay, so I'm in Chicago, and if you're here, I'd love to meet you and take your picture, make a girls' trip weekend out of it. Come visit me.
How fun is that?
Yeah, it'd be fun, right?
But
even if you're not in the area, stop by my website. I'm at chicagoboudoir.com. Boudoir is a tricky word to spell. It's BOUDOIR.com, because I have some free download stuff for you. I've got a free ebook. I've got a quiz you can take. I've got some affirmation printables. So stop by and connect, even if you're not in the Chicago area. I'd love to meet you.
Oh, I love that so much. Liz, this has been an absolute joy. Everyone go out and connect with her and get I am just pulling all this energy being like, this is so fun. I feel so amazing. So thank you so much.
And let me know when you sign up for your own photo shoot, girl.
I definitely will. I was like, maybe I'll come to Chicago and make a girls trip out of it.
No, it was so fun. I'd love it.
I'm totally in. Okay, awesome. All right, everyone, share this episode. We need so many more empowered women out there standing in their beauty and their strength and changing the world. Please share this. Liz, thank you so much again. And thanks everyone for listening. We'll catch you next time. Well, that's the end of this episode, but promise me, you won't stop here with whatever it is you're feeling or dreaming about. I hope you leave today feeling empowered to live life just as you see fit. If this podcast was helpful to you, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review on whatever platform you're listening on. I genuinely just want to help women live the life they dream about. So if this type of content tracks with you, subscribe to this podcast or visit our website, writeyourownstory.co, to download digital courses or to grab a journal and a mug to just dream in and dream with. It's your life, lady. Do you? And just remember, I'm rooting for you and you've totally got this.